consciousness is your window into reality. Like I'm conscious right now of you asking me a question. I'm conscious of pixels on the screen that represent your face. And I'm conscious of my own thoughts inside my mind. I'm conscious of all sorts of things. And so consciousness is sort of the window into reality. But then the window into reality is itself part of reality. So the consciousness exists. It's a real piece of reality. And now we can start to think about, well, what is consciousness? How does consciousness arise? How do you construct consciousness? There's this construction problem that philosophers of mind think about, which is the general problem of how you could take certain things that are not conscious, like let's say, two billiard balls. Could you put them together in such a way that by putting them together, those balls now become conscious? Is that even possible? Many philosophers have made the argument that you actually cannot, even in principle, explain the emergence of consciousness just in terms of physical states like atomic motions in the brain. That this is the so-called hard problem of explaining the emergence of consciousness. And there are a whole host of other problems. In my book, Who Are You Really?, I talk about 7 or so different types of problems with making consciousness out of mindless ingredients. And my argument, my overall argument is that it's actually impossible to make consciousness out of mindless ingredients, that consciousness itself is a precursor or a requirement for the other things. So that consciousness has to be a foundational reality. So it's like a familiar reality. It's the window into reality, but that very window itself has to be real, and I argue foundationally real. The reality is fundamentally a conscious reality, I argue.
Mm.